Mrs. Vani Murthy is fondly known as the composting queen or Worm Rani as her Instagram handle says. She is an evangelist and a practitioner of sustainable lifestyle choices. She is a composting enthusiast, urban farmer, and waste management practitioner moving towards a zero waste lifestyle. She is a founder member of Solid Waste Management Roundtable Bangalore and a TEDx speaker. Mrs. Vani Murthy has been promoting the idea of Swachh Greh, a home that produces minimum garbage for over a decade now. Her YouTube videos on home composting and biocleaners have lakhs of views and followers.
Hello, I am Vani Murthy. I live in Bangalore and I am a part of a team called SWMRT, that is the Solid Waste Management Roundtable. And for more than a decade, we have been looking at sensitizing the citizens of Bangalore to help deal with a humongous problem called garbage. And we want every citizen to take responsibility of the waste they generate and take part in managing the city's waste. Well, before I talk about the solutions and the action that we all can take as citizens of this planet, I would like to tell you all about what really happens to the waste that we generate. It is out of our homes, it is end of use to us, but there is still life in the waste. And if it goes mixed, it just gets dumped, or it somehow or the other ends up in places where it actually hurts the planet, it pollutes the planet, and also other species that live along with us on this planet also suffocate and they are stressed. So the entire ecosystem gets polluted because of this. So usually the waste is picked up by the municipality, and all of us think that it is their responsibility. But it is the generator's responsibility, because if we give the mixed waste, it's either dumped in a empty plot or in the drains, or it is taken away, dumped in some lake, river, or in the oceans. And also it gets dumped outside the city limits in every major city, and there are villages there, and it's called the landfill, but nothing scientific about this landfill. It is a dump yard, and in this dump yard every day thousands and thousands of tons of garbage, mixed garbage, get dumped. They get compacted, ready for the next day to receive the next day's waste. And when organic matter, things that we generate from our kitchen, gets trapped in this landfill, they start to break down anaerobically, and methane generates. Methane is a deadly greenhouse gas. We all talk about the global warming, about the climate change, how there are deadlines to reverse it, and how we all need to take action to contribute to the reversal of the climate change. So this methane gets out from the landfill, and that's because of the waste that we generated. So if we are directly responsible for that part of pollution. The second thing that happens at a landfill is that there is a leachate, there is a dark fluid, a potent fluid that leaves these landfills, and they enter the groundwater and also contaminate the soil around. And most of the landfills, at least what we have seen, there are villages around which grow the food for the city, and the soil is contaminated, and then it enters the water table and the water gets contaminated, and you can see that what we throw comes back to us in some form or the other, through polluted air, through polluted water, and through contaminated food. So it's extremely important for us not to contribute to this mess and create environment that is conducive to life on this planet. For that, we need to take steps. The first thing would be, how do we reduce waste? One of the first things that we look at when we look at the waste is the three R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. But above that, we also put another R called refuse, because most of the things today are single use disposables. That is, we use once and we discard, and these are the ones that contribute to the waste, a large contributor. It is very convenient to use stuff and discard them, but one must remember that when we use something, we are using resources to make it, energy and man hours have been put into making it, and it travels miles, and then you pick it up, use it once and then discard it. It really makes no sense and no meaning. So we must move to a reuse culture. We have to have a reuse revolution. That's very important, because these are not our culture to dispose things and create humongous amounts of waste. Be it a wedding, right from bottled water to plastic cups, styrofoam cups, to paper rolls, to so many things that we generate, tissues that are used once and discarded. So the first thing would be to refuse. So I will just take you through a few things that we can straight away start as an action to help heal this planet. First, and I would like to take on the bottled water. Well, we don't even know if the water is safe. So when you carry your own bottle wherever you go, you have clean drinking water, plus you're not generating a waste, because we think that this can be recycled, but most of the time it is goes in mixed ways. It gets burnt, again, so much of toxins getting dioxins getting into the air. So we need to make this shift, that we refuse a single use bottle. This is a packaged bottle. And then always make sure we carry one when we leave our homes, be it travel, be it conferences, be it any kind of get together. We make sure that we can refill wherever we go, and create this this habit or this practice that makes us feel proud of who we are. The second thing is plastic has been banned in most of the cities. They are not supposed to give plastic covers, and because plastic is one of the especially the covers, the low grade covers are one of the biggest pollutants, because people love plastic covers. They love to bag all their waste in it and tie a tight knot, and then discard it out of their homes. So it would be always nice to carry our own cloth bag, or a little pouch which has a bag inside. Keep it in your backpack, or in your purse, or in your car, in your scooter, wherever, so that when you go out to purchase anything, when you even if you have an unplanned purchase, it's always there with you, so that you can refuse the plastic cover. And the plastic cover being banned, another product has come into the market, and it is worse than plastic. They say it is cloth bag. So if you go to some shops, they will give you a bag like this. It has a stitch which you can see like this, and this bag is polypropylene non-woven bags, and they come in multiple colors. They come like this. There are bags like this, colorful bags. All these are again absolutely not good for the environment, because they not only they are plastic, but they cannot be recycled. I'll make a small example of how it burns, and it smells like plastic. Of course you can't smell it, but you can see how it burns like plastic. It's not cloth wouldn't be burning like this. So you can see how it's burning, and it is absolutely sticky, and it is definitely not cloth. So next time somebody offers you something and say this is a cloth bag, just refuse it, because we don't want to create stuff that is not good for our planet. Another thing is about cutlery that we use, because it's very convenient to give paper cups and plastic cups. If plastic cups are banned, and you think that paper cup is biodegradable, and you're doing a great job by offering people paper cups. People drink tea in this all the time. These paper cups absolutely not eco-friendly, because I put it in my compost, and most of the paper got it broke, it was degraded, but what was left in between two layers of paper is a thin film of plastic. It is again something that would stay on this planet for a long time. Nobody will recycle this, because it's multi-layer. There are two materials in one, and also there is a wax that is coated, which when you put hot liquid, it gets into your system when you drink it. So best is to have your own steel tumbler. I always carry my own steel tumbler wherever I go. I never forget to carry it, so that I can accept a kheer, uh, coffee, tea, anything in this, and refuse this. That's the third thing that you can all refuse. And When we want to have a quick bite, and if there are people who give you a paper plate, but it is a multi-layer again, it has this thin plastic. This is the problem, because humongous amounts of these get dumped, and carrying your own plate or refusing this would be a great idea. Look for alternatives. Again, this will always stay in my bag, and I make sure that I carry it wherever I go, so that I can refuse again a single-use disposables. Same way, cutlery. When you drink a juice, or a cocktail, or if you're drinking a tender coconut water, a plastic straw is put into your drink. And even before you order, just tell them that you wouldn't want this. They have replaced it with paper, but again, paper straws are also, there is effort made into resources being used, paper is being used, and you use once and you discard it. Really makes no sense. This is highly polluting. It ends up somewhere harming actually other creatures also. So carrying your own steel straw will be good fun. It comes with a lovely brush where you can keep it clean, and always make sure this is available. If you have young children, you can always carry this around in your purse, so that you can refuse. Same goes with plastic spoons. Carrying my own cutlery is like fun, because I can proudly say, refuse whatever is offered. uh, Along with that, of course, things like, I haven't used a tissue for a very very long time now, because I completely refuse this, because I can use stuff like this. These are all old curtain material which made into napkins. It's always there in my bag, so that I don't have to reach out to a tissue. And Of course, instead of using the ppe masks, we have to go for cloth masks, so that we don't generate this pp. It's already humongous amounts of pp kits have been generated. Let us not contribute to it. Then another important thing, especially for women, during the menstrual period time, we have so got used to the disposable pads. These pads are convenient, of course, the tampons and the pads, but they are 90% plastic. And apart from that, they are not good for us, because they have gels and they have bleaches, which are not good for our skin. Secondly, this is creates humongous amounts of waste. It's sanitary waste. Again, it contaminates. So if we could refuse this, many young women have gone for the alternative, which was already there in our culture. It is the cloth pad. You get lovely colors and a beautiful cloth pad. And another magical thing that happens for today's women that opt for alternative is the menstrual cups. These are silicone cups, and amazing. It is like a liberation for women. 8 hours. This is inserted into your vagina. There are two kinds of folds, and this is introduced, and it forms a suction, and it stays there, collecting the blood. And then when in 8 hours later, you can just pinch it, pull it out, empty it, rinse it, and then you put it back. So wherever you go, if you have this cup in your purse, you can always use it when you get your periods. And it is trash free, it's cash free, and it is rash free, because most of these irritants in the disposable pads do they create rash for many women. And this is a fantastic alternative to have. Same goes with baby diapers. Again, 90% plastic. It has gels, it has dyes, and it has bleaches, which are not good for the baby's skin. Going back to reusable, that is wash and reuse again. Diapers would be a great shift, not just for the environment, but for the baby too. And when we all love birthday parties, and gifting things like this in these covers are absolutely no, because they are trash after their use. they are trashed, and they are multi-layer, they cannot be recycled. So giving in lovely cloth bags you're gifting, or in a paper cup, these paper bag, or a nice cloth bag, done by women with tailoring waste, could be a great way to look at the alternatives in gifting. And when there are birthdays, just try not to use things like this. These are all plastic. Use natural material, leaves and flowers, things. Minimize on creating waste. So after we celebrate all our parties, weddings, after we celebrate, we should not be leaving anything for the earth to deal with, because if we dump it, the earth is burdened, and that's where we have completely missed out on celebrating her. She needs to be celebrated too, along with our celebrations. Next time when you have to buy your toothbrush and you're using a plastic, go for a bamboo toothbrush, which would be definitely an alternative. I have stopped using clips that have are plastic, because they break and they can't be recycled. So I've gone to a material like the bamboo clips, and also the metal clips, and even the Q-tips. They are also bamboo. They're not that blue plastic. So things like this as alternatives could be a great way to begin a journey to a sustainable living. And once you have reduced the amount of garbage, the next step is to segregate your waste, and I'll talk about that. Waste segregation is a very important part of the city's waste management, decentralized waste management, because if we put them or collect them into different ways, then we are actually saving resources from getting lost, because most of the waste that we generate is organic waste. That is 60% of our waste is the organic waste that comes mostly from our kitchen or our gardens. And the second highest is the dry waste, which is recyclable. It could be packaging, it could be plastic, it could be metal, it could be glass. All these needs to go to recycling, and there is very minimum, that is 5 to 10%, that is reject waste. So we in Bangalore have the 2 bin 1 bag as a system of segregation, which is mandated by the court. And we have 2 bins and 1 bag: the green bin, the red bin. Green bin for our organic waste, and the red bin for reject waste. And the bag is to collect all the recyclables. So this is a system that is adopted by Bangalore, and by doing this, we are actually diverting resources from getting lost at the landfill, or getting lost by putting it like burning it. But once we learn that segregation is very important, we realize that 60% of what we generate is compostable. It is something that is organic in nature, and great resource that needs to go back to where it belongs. When I say where it belongs, organic matter belongs back in the soil. If you see the natural world, everything has its own cycle. It is maintained. Everything is maintained the way nature intended it to be maintained. So you go to a forest, you go to any place where it's wooded, you see it is lush green, and the forest floor is so teeming with life. If you just move the forest floor, you will see life below your feet. You will see creepy crawlies, you will see insects, there'll be ants, there'll be earthworms, every possible recycler. They are all the things that help break the organic matter, and then they go back as nutrients to the tree. Again, the tree sheds either a rotten fruit or the leaves. It goes onto the soil, and then the soil breaks it down, and it takes the nutrients back. So that closed loop of nutrient, how it holds, is missed today, because most of our agriculture has become very toxic. It is with a lot of chemicals and chemical fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides. So we have lost a lot of organic matter that is there in the soil. The soil is depleted completely of any organic matter. And what we generate at our home, the fruit peels, the vegetable peels, the eggshells, the dry flowers from your puja, everything is biodegradable and they can be composted. So I love composting, and I would love to talk to you a little bit about composting. Composting is the breakdown of this organic matter. You just need to know the process. It is an exciting process because it helps you create something that enriches soil, which gives life to soil. Instead of it leaving your house and polluting the environment, we are actually doing something that helps the environment regenerate. Composting, there are 5 things that we need to understand. One is the green waste. It is high in nitrogen and it is very wet. It is moist because there's a lot of moisture in it. The second thing is the browns. Along with the greens, you need the browns. The browns, one of the best browns that you can get is collect all the dry leaves that falls from trees in and around your homes. So this I have shredded and I've kept. This is high in carbon and it's a dry material. There's a wet material, there's a dry material, and composting is all about the balance between these two. And what can go into a compost is all your vegetable peels, fruit peels. It could be coffee powder, tea powder, eggshells, anything. When you start for the first time, don't put any cooked food because you won't be able to manage it till you get a few rounds right. Don't add that. So there's the greens, there's the browns, and the third thing is the microorganisms. In the natural world, microorganisms are available where it will break down anything that drops on the soil. But we need to create that in small spaces that we have in urban settings. We need to mimic that. So one of the best things that I use is cow dung as a culture, as something that I inoculate my composting process with, so that it builds millions of microorganisms that will break down my composting. So microbe introduction of microbes is to accelerate the process. And if you can't get cow dung, it doesn't matter. You can always have sour buttermilk. Just leave curds out for a couple of days and it becomes very sour, and then use that to inoculate your pile. So it's the greens, it's the browns, it's the microbes. And fourth thing is the oxygen. This is an aerobic process, and it needs oxygen to breathe, because the microorganisms, they need moisture and oxygen to colonize and make your process very quickly. So oxygen means you need to turn the pile once in a while. And the last thing is container. What kind of containers that you need? You can take plastic containers like this. You can take terracotta containers. So container is your choice. You can do it yourself. Take an old plastic bucket. Make sure there's a lid. Make sure you don't leave it out in the rain. That's very important. So you mix both of these. If you have taken one handful of your greens, take 2 to 3 handfuls of the browns, shredded browns, so that they balance. Along with that, add little microorganisms, mix them well, and put them into your bucket. Do that every day. You take your greens, you take your browns, you add a little bit of culture, maybe once or twice a week, and then mix them well, put it in it. And once in 2-3 days, just turn the pile over so that you're introducing oxygen to the lower parts. And once the bucket or your container is full, it takes around 40 to 45 days for it to completely break down, for it to become this beautiful black gold. This is called the compost. This is life. This is completely material that makes the soil alive, and this is something we all can make and grow our food in. So this beautiful material is dark, rich, and full of nutrients for the plants to absorb, so that they give us nutrients when we eat them. So the cycle of nutrients is maintained because organic matter has gone back to building soil. This is extremely important. And today, with a lot of vendors have come out with stuff that if you don't get dry leaves, if you don't know where to find microbes, they have come out with a kind of material. This is called coco peat, and this is having microbes also. These two are in this brick. When soaked, it becomes something like this, and you can lay your kitchen waste along with this powder, and then it makes your life easier. So composting is an exciting process. It's an experiential learning, and all of us can do it and must do it, because this is my waste, and I take full responsibility of it uh, for the longest time that I live on this planet. We all use chemical cleaners at home. They are harsh and they enter the environment from our homes, and they contaminate water and soil wherever they reach. It is polluting. So for the past 5 years, I've stopped using such chemicals or such cleaners in my home that is bought from the shops, and I have actually started making my own bioenzymes. These bioenzymes are made from citrus peels. They are called the citrus enzymes, and they are a multi-purpose cleaner. They can be used almost in all the cleaning that your home needs. So what I do is either it's a lemon or orange or a musambi. I take 300 grams of peels, 200 grams of dark jaggery, and then 1 liter of water. That's the proportion. I mix them all up and put it in a plastic bottle. Because why plastic? Because there is in this is a fermentation method. There's some kind of gas that's generated, which has to be released every day for the first few days, and then again shut tight and kept in a dark corner, so that the fermentation happens. At the end of the fermentation, almost 2 to 3 months later, you have this amazing enzyme, which is you can use it for any cleaning. So I dilute it and I put it in a spray can, and I spray it on my stove. I spray it on the platform, on the tile, on the glass, everything, my chimney, and I clean all. And also I take a little bit of it for my mopping. So citrus bioenzyme can be used in the bathrooms to wash a sink, your taps, every surface that needs cleaning or disinfecting, you can use it. I also put, along with that, I use soap nuts. This is a Rita. These soap berries, they call it. These are going back to days when our grandparents used to use them, and these are excellent material for soap. So it's a dishwasher, it is a laundry wash, it is my hair wash. So I also use this as my hand wash. So I put the liquid. I make a lot of this liquid. I soak this in water overnight, hot water, and I make this and leave it in the fridge. And this is what I use for my hand wash, along with a little bit of bioenzyme. This disinfects and this cleans. So this is my hand wash, and as a shampoo also I use the same combination. Very little bit of bioenzyme in my shampoo, which is of the soap berries, and my hair is soft because it acts as a conditioner. So we can see that we can all shift our practices to be more earth friendly, to be more caring about the nature and the environment, and give it a shot, and make yourself citizens worth living on this beautiful, beautiful planet.